In today's world, people using the internet in a lot of different ways, and new developments like artificial intelligence have a lot of people questioning exactly what it means. So this is Amanda Sims with Securities Commission of Alabama. Let's just back up a little bit and explain artificial intelligence. We hear that term AI all the time these days, but what is it exactly?
Yeah, a lot of folks will call and say, well, what is this? You know, they envision a robot world now where they're taking over and they're doing our jobs and they're cooking in the kitchen with us and doing different things. But AI, we've actually been using it for a long time. So if you have Siri or Alexa, you know, we love those features. People talk to Siri like she's a best friend now. And so that's artificial intelligence. That's right. Yeah, we love her when she says the right thing. Sometimes not so much. You know, we have chat boxes that come up on our computers now, artificial intelligence. Sometimes when you call an automated system or you call a phone number and you get an automated system, those questions and responses are programmed through artificial intelligence. And so while it may feel like it's taking over our lives, where we see it, they're becoming little criminals out there with all of the artificial intelligence outlets, and fraudsters tend to exploit every new technology. So that's how we've been involved with the Securities Commission, is help prosecute some of the fraud that's out there associated with the technology. That's very helpful, but as with everything, there's always a downside.
Exactly. All technology, especially new technology, seems to have its pros, incredible pros, but also some things we need to look out for. So what exactly are you seeing? What are some of the cons, the challenges that we're seeing with AI?
So we get reports in at least 10 a week. And I was so thrilled that the Montgomery gentleman came in to share his story earlier this week with his daughter's voice being impersonated or cloned. As a matter of fact, yesterday somebody called and said, hey, I don't know, I got a phone call, it's kind of strange. But the biggest area right now is with the calls impersonating a loved one. This gentleman said his daughter was purportedly calling, and a lot of times these fraudsters will call you in the middle of the night, so you don't have a lot of time to react. And if you have screaming on the other line and they're claiming they need help immediately, so that's what we caution everybody: just slow down, take your time, think about it, and verify. Impersonation calls and cloning calls are one area, and then another area is just online. As you're shopping, on the internet now with COVID, a lot of people were driven to online retailers, and it's nearly impossible to tell now what's real and what's not because of the fake websites that are popping up and the pop-ups that are directing you to different sites.
So you mentioned in the middle of the night when people are not really even thinking clearly, they're waking up, or online, a lot of times we just assume this is a website I visit on a regular basis, so it must be safe because I've shopped before. So kind of give us some warning signs. What are some things we can look out for to say, hey, this may not be what we think it is?
Good, and they're so nuanced too. You really have to pay attention to detail. On websites, even Amazon, their website has been cloned before. I know just recently here in the River Region area, we had a lady call and say, I was online with my bank account and immediately redirected, and it happened so fast that she couldn't tell that she had been directed to the fake website.
Oh, no.
So, I always tell people, if you're not sure, make sure you look at the URL when you're online, see if there's a little padlock there. Take the time to read through the website, because we live in such a fast-paced world. It is hard to slow down and do these things, but it'll prevent, enormous emotional and financial losses. But look at the website, make sure there are no typos. A lot of the fraudulent websites have something that just looks a little unusual. For phone calls, the artificial intelligence type created voices that are synthesized. And I need to add, though, that a lot of these voices come from social media. So when we post videos, or we put pictures up there with videos, oftentimes the fraudster can get a complete picture of a loved one in the family and be able to use the voice. But when they use the synthesizing mechanism that creates the voice, that clones it, oftentimes there are not natural breaks in the voice. So if you listen long enough, you'll understand that this is not really normal for my daughter to say these things, or there's not a natural hesitation or break or a change in cadence. So for impersonations, listen out for the voice, and also we tell people have a word that and I know you don't want to plan for a hack, but these people that are being victimized they some are professionals. They've seen these things and they're just caught in a situation where they're very vulnerable. So Oklahoma is our word at the office. If we scream out Oklahoma, we know somebody's in trouble. But if you get one of those panic calls, make sure you have, with your family, loved ones, a word. If this is Susie calling, well, Susie, what's our word? And if that person doesn't know, and in all likelihood, it's not a situation that is at all real. So slow down, check the language on the internet, and listen very closely to those calls. Hang up and call and verify with your loved one that it's not him or her out there.
Because it does seem so real or look so real. A lot of us have fallen victim already. What can we do? What should our first step be if we realize, oh no, we're a victim?
And there's so many in the River Region area. That's why I'm thankful to be back to share this with you, because we see the reports in from across the state, but especially in this area. So if you think that you've received a phone call that's urgent, hang up and call and verify with the loved one before you do anything else. Hang up the phone, or if you have already in place, hopefully some of you will, that magic word to verify on the phone. But if not, stay calm, hang up and call the person directly. If you can't get him or her, don't panic, continue down that line, because in all likelihood, I don't want to say that it's never going to be the case, but it has never been the case with any of the reports that it was a kidnapping or a threat to be arrested for not coming to court. And call us. We are certainly a resource. We can tell you the things that we've seen, and we're a law enforcement agency, so we can help verify some of these. And then, of course, online, do not transfer money online unless you've absolutely verified that is your financial institution or a legitimate retailer. And just slow down, pay close attention.
Well, we're showing your website on the screen right there, asc.alabama.gov, which is an incredible resource for a lot of this information. Amanda, thank you so much for sharing this with us.